All right, everybody. So I've gotten a lot of questions about how I crochet my little bun rugs, bun flooring, and bun mats. I have 3 strands of yarn right here. It's rather thin yarn, as you guys can see. 3 different colors, white and 2 different shades of green. But I typically do just a bunch of random squares, rectangles, various sizes, densities, shapes. As you see, I have a whole stack literally right here. I have a lot of like smaller yarn balls and yarn skeins I'm trying to go through right now, so we're just trying to finish those up. So I have a bunch of randoms that I'm just squaring up, and then we are going to connect them into a bunch of bun squares, or bun mats, I mean. But I've gotten a lot of questions specifically on TikTok about how I make these. You guys have seen Oreo's floors and now soon to be Bella's floors, and I crocheted pretty much all of them with the exception of the microfiber mats, the absorbent mats for the PP. Didn't make those, but anything that's crocheted I did make. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Starting off, 10mm hook. Literally got this from the Dollar Tree in a pack. It was like $5, so there's that. It's awesome. It's just something super basic. When crocheting with 3 strands of yarn, obviously it's going to be a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to pay attention a little bit more, and you do get sore a little bit more quickly. I have carpal tunnel in both of my wrists because I'm ambidextrous, so yeah, don't hurt yourself. But I've been on a crochet kick recently, obviously, right here. So first things first, you're going to make the loop. I just twist and pull, and that makes a nice little loop. That is going to be, I guess, the finishing end of the first little row, the starting row. And I typically do 20 stitches when making my bun mats, regardless of how many strands of yarn I use, because it's consistent, but then also there's a little bit of variance in sizes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stitch up 20 of these guys. All right, so we have our 20 stitches, our little single guys, and we're gonna add one more that is gonna be the finishing end for the other side. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. You'll see when we do the second row how this works out. But what you're gonna do right here is, you see you just did this last loop. You're gonna go to the second loop in and shove your needle under all 3 strands. Then you're gonna single loop, pull through, and then single loop, pull both through, and that is a single stitch. You're going to do that for each and every single one of these guys. So pop it through the 3, around, pull through, around, hold on, pull through. Like I said, working with 3 strands of yarn, it's a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to pull a little bit harder. There's going to be a little bit more resistance on your hand and the hook, but just take your time, be patient, and I promise you'll get beautiful results. So let's go ahead and continue to stitch these guys up. Please follow along with me. Yeah. All right, we're at the end of this row. Right here, we're gonna do this final stitch, and then I'm gonna show you what I mean by the little finishing end piece. So right here, there's this little loop from the initial knot that I did. It's not a true stitch, but what you can do just to make your edges a lot more neat. Shove your hook through there. It's gonna be a little difficult. And then just pull both through right up there. It's gonna look wonky at first, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna skip this first stitch right here that you just did and go straight into this second stitch underneath both, and then do the same thing as the first row. Under, pull, under, pull. And then you're gonna do that until you reach the very end and repeat. All right, so we've reached the end of our row right here. We have the final 2 stitches, but then you're gonna see that this loop right here looks different from the previous ending loop. And that is how you're gonna tell it from the normal stitches. As you see the normal stitches right here, they have 2 of each color, whereas this one only has 1, and that's how you know it's gonna be one of the finishing stitches for the row. So you're gonna go over and double up, and then and you're gonna finish your row just like normal. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna shove your hook right under these 3, and then just wrap once and pull through. And then right here, you see that there's this little double stitch right here. You're not gonna touch this guy, you ignore him. That's how you make the finishing loop. It's very important in how it looks super neat on the side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna skip ahead and go through that second loop right there, pull through, double. And we're gonna keep going for the rest of the row. Now at this point, I think I can go ahead and jump onto a full-on time lapse. I think you guys kind of get the gist of what's going on, and if not, then please rewind the video or shoot me a message on TikTok. I'm happy to go through with better colors, but this is what it's looking like right now. And as you see, these ends are extremely neat. Oh, my camera's vibrating, of course. But you see the ends are very neat. It's very straight, and that's what we want. And it looks very lovely. So let's go ahead and jump this guy onto time lapse real quick. All right, so this is where I'm gonna stop this specific square. It's nice and compressed right now and squished because I've been manipulating it, but I am running out of my white. This is the last of this ball, which again, that was the goal. You can either attach another color or the same color but another ball onto this strand by doing just a teeny tiny tight little double knot right here, and then by tucking the little loose ends that are going to be there inevitably into the work. Again, this is just about the size that I want it to be anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish this off. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this and then pull through here, the 3 little guys, and then pull it through. Then when I pull it through, I'm going to go ahead, where did I set my blade? That's fine. I'm going to pull up my blade and trim this guy up real quick. And then I'm going to pull all 3 strands through just to finish it off. Come on, thank you very much. Give it a little pull. And then I like to double knot it just to really secure it, because again, these are going to bunnies, and any precautions that we can take are better. And then of course, I'm going to trim off the loose ends when I go to arrange them into their little pattern. But right now, they're just getting stacked. Ta-da! All right, that's how I crochet my bun mats. These are my mini mats. They're just a single square. You can make both the normal bun mats and bug rugs. Bun rugs. This is the third take, guys. I keep messing that one up. But you can just make them larger by attaching them together. There's multiple different kinds of stitches you can use to put them together side by side and all that kind of stuff, just to make them nice and wide, long, and thick. To your preference. But I use the 3 strands because it's extra cushy on the little bunny feet. And without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys watching. I know a bunch of you did ask. And here is the horde. Once I create enough, I will just attach them all together because why not? So stay tuned for that and show me what you're making. I want to see all your fun little creative projects. Go ahead and tag me in them on TikTok, Instagram, and send them to me. I would love to see them. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.